And the readings will now be given by Bruce.
I will read from the Bible. Psalm 119. Blessed are the undefiled in the way, who walk in the law of the Lord. Open thou mine eyes, that I may behold wondrous things out of thy law. Acts. There was a certain man in Caesarea called Cornelius, a centurion of the band called the Italian Band, a devout man, and one that feared God with all his house, which gave much alms to the people, and prayed to God alway. He saw in a vision, evidently about the 9th hour of the day, an angel of God coming in to him, and saying unto him, Cornelius. And when he looked on him, he was afraid, and said, What is it, Lord? And he said unto him, Thy prayers and thine alms are come up for a memorial before God. And now send men to Joppa, and call for one Simon, whose surname is Peter. On the morrow, as they went on their journey, and drew nigh unto the city, Peter went up upon the housetop to pray, about the 6th hour. And he became very hungry, and would have eaten. But while they made ready, he fell into a trance, and saw heaven opened, wherein were all manner of 4-footed beasts of the earth, and wild beasts, and creeping things, and fowls of the air. And there came a voice to him, Rise, Peter, kill and eat. But Peter said, Not so, Lord, for I have never eaten anything that is common or unclean. And the voice spake unto him again the 2nd time, What God hath cleansed, that call not thou common. While Peter thought on the vision, the Spirit said unto him, Behold, 3 men seek thee. Arise, therefore, and get thee down, and go with them, doubting nothing, for I have sent them. And as Peter was coming in, Cornelius met him, and fell down at his feet and worshipped him. But Peter took him up, saying, Stand up, I myself also am a man. And he said unto them, Ye know how that it is an unlawful thing for a man that is a Jew to keep company, or come unto one of another nation. But God hath showed me that I should not call any man common or unclean. Then Peter opened his mouth and said, Of a truth I perceive that God is no respecter of persons, but in every nation he that feareth him and worketh righteousness is accepted with him. The word which God sent unto the children of Israel, preaching peace by Jesus Christ. He is Lord of all. How God anointed Jesus of Nazareth with the Holy Ghost and with power, who went about doing good and healing all that were oppressed of the devil, for God was with him. And he commanded us to preach unto the people and to testify that it is he which was ordained of God to be the judge of quick and dead. To him give all the prophets witness, that through his name whosoever believeth in him shall receive remission of sins. While Peter yet spake these words, the Holy Ghost fell on all them which heard the word. Galatians. For, brethren, ye have been called unto liberty. Only use not liberty for an occasion to the flesh, but by love serve one another. For all the law is fulfilled in one word, even in this: thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. And let us not be weary in well-doing, for in due season we shall reap if we faint not. The correlative reading is from Miscellaneous Writings by Mary Baker Eddy. To kindle all minds with a gleam of gratitude, the new idea that comes welling up from infinite truth needs to be understood. Humility is the stepping stone to a higher recognition of deity. The mounting sense gathers fresh forms and strange fire from the ashes of dissolving self and drops the world. Meekness heightens immortal attributes only by removing the dust that dims them. Goodness reveals another scene and another self, seemingly rolled up in shades, but brought to light by the evolutions of advancing thought, whereby we discern the power of truth and love to heal the sick. Pride is ignorance. Those assume most who have the least wisdom or experience, and they steal from their neighbor because they have so little of their own. The signs of these times portend a long and strong determination of mankind to cleave to the world, the flesh, and evil, causing great obscuration of spirit. When we remember that God is just and admit the total depravity of mortals, alias mortal mind, and that this Adam legacy must first be seen and then must be subdued and recompensed by justice, the eternal attribute of truth, the outlook demands labor, and the laborers seem few. Today, we behold but the first faint view of a more spiritual Christianity that embraces a deeper and broader philosophy and a more rational and divine healing. The time approaches when divine life, truth, and love will be found alone, the remedy for sin, sickness, and death. When God, man's saving principle, and Christ, the spiritual idea of God, will be revealed. Man's probation after death is the necessity of his immortality. For good dies not, and evil is self-destructive. Therefore, evil must be mortal and self-destroyed. If man should not progress after death, but should remain in error, he would be inevitably self-annihilated. Those upon whom the second death hath no power are those who progress here and hereafter out of evil, their mortal element, and into good, that is immortal, thus laying off the material beliefs that war against spirit and putting on the spiritual elements in divine science. While we entertain decided views as to the best method for elevating the race, physically, morally, and spiritually, and shall express these views as duty demands, we shall claim no especial gift from our divine origin, no supernatural power. If we regard good as more natural than evil, and spiritual understanding, the true knowledge of God, as imparting the only power to heal the sick and the sinner, we shall demonstrate in our lives the power of truth and love. The lessons we learn in divine science are applicable to all the needs of man. Jesus taught them for this very purpose, and his demonstration hath taught us that through his stripes, his life experience, and divine science, brought to the understanding through Christ, the Spirit Revelator, is man healed and saved. No opinions of mortals nor human hypotheses enter this line of thought or action. Drugs, inert matter, never are needed to aid spiritual power. Hygiene, manipulation, and mesmerism are not mind's medicine. The principle of all cure is God, unerring and immortal mind. We have learned that the erring or mortal thought holds in itself all sin, sickness, and death, and imparts these states to the body, while the supreme and perfect mind, as seen in the truth of being, antidotes and destroys these material elements of sin and death. Because God is supreme and omnipotent, materia medica, hygiene, and animal magnetism are impotent, and their only supposed efficacy is in apparently deluding reason, denying revelation, and dethroning deity. The tendency of mental healing is to uplift mankind. But this method perverted is Satan let loose. Hence, the deep demand for the science of psychology to meet sin and uncover it, thus to annihilate hallucination. Thought imbued with purity, truth, and love, instructed in the science of metaphysical healing, is the most potent and desirable remedial agent on the earth. At this period, There is a marked tendency of mortal mind to plant mental healing on the basis of hypnotism, calling this method mental science. All science is Christian science, the science of the mind that is God, and of the universe as His idea, and their relation to each other. Its only power to heal is its power to do good, not evil.